Well, has this political ugliness touched a new low today? Let's just first go across to the BJP's Chandan Mitra, who joins us tonight. Mr. Mitra, let me ask you straight off. I mean, you know, we're at a stage where we're still, like I said right at the beginning, counting the number of dead. We don't know how many people who would have actually died in this tragedy. There are still 3,000 plus people missing. And yet we've seen such an ugly spat taking place all day today between the principal parties.
Well, I think the leader of the opposition, Sushma Swaraj, did point out the ineptitude and indifference of the government of Uttarakhand, which is well known. I mean, she's not the first one to point it out. Now, the government was really missing in inaction, I would say, all along. And whatever rescue relief was done entirely by the brave jawans of the Indian Army, the Air Force, and other paramilitary forces like the ITBP. Where was the government? And in fact, they could not even distribute the relief material that had been sent. We have had media reports that only 200 grams of rice and dal were distributed, whereas, which is not enough for a day's meal or for a family of 4 or 5. So what is the why is the Congress?
But isn't that something we can all discuss later?
All guns blazing.
Sure, but Mr. Mitra, isn't that something that can be discussed and a post-mortem done later?
Enough time has passed.
But we're still looking for 3,000 people.
Enough time has now passed.
But
yes, we are looking for 3,000 people, but unless the Uttarakhand government pulls up its socks, I am afraid that even after the 3,000 people are rescued by our brave Jawans, there will still be absolute chaos. And after all, local people are suffering a great deal. They don't have food, they don't have shelter, they don't have drinking water. And what is the government doing?
So you're saying it's legitimate criticism.
And after all, the state government is primarily accountable.
So you're saying it's legitimate criticism of the state government and its functioning, and that shouldn't be seen necessarily as a political low. Let me get Shazia Ilmi into this from the Aadmi party first. Now you're head first into politics right now, Shazia. In a sense, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? But has it happened too early? Or as Chandan Mitra says, it's legitimate criticism, there are serious issues on the ground and we need to ask those questions.
No, the larger issue is that none of the, I mean, if you look at BJP or Congress, and they've been blowing their own trumpet over this issue, the fact is that the army, the paratroopers, the paramilitary, they're the real heroes. So instead of making it about Rahul Gandhi or Modi, they should realize that there is something much more serious at hand. None of them are ecologists, disaster management specialists, paratroopers. They're not specialists in rescue operations. So why can't they be conspicuous by their absence for a change instead of making it about themselves and scoring political brownie points at a time like this and making a disaster, a calamity like this a photo opportunity to settle political scores? I think is very shameful. I think it is extremely shameful and unfortunate that our senior leaders of both the parties have indulged in this kind of mudslinging over such a serious and a tragic issue.
Mr. Bharat Bhushan, your thoughts on this? Because Shazia has a point. We've seen a lot of photo opportunities in the last 12-10 days.
You know, I have a slightly different take. I don't see anything wrong in politicians going there, politicians taking credit. The great thing about our democracy is political parties are competing with each other to supply aid, to go there, to tell people what to do, to hold the local government accountable. I see nothing wrong in it. Imagine if this tragedy had taken place in a closed society, in our neighborhood, you know, where no news gets out, TV channels are not allowed to say what is happening. I think television has played a great role. I think politicians are playing a good role. To say Sushma Swaraj should have said nothing, why? She was a Rajya Sabha MP from Garhwal. I am a Garhwali myself, and if because of this debate on television, because of politicians competing with each other, you know, the local government is held accountable, more aid goes to people in remote areas, so much the better. Only in a democracy would this happen.
But is that what's going to happen?
I think so.
Because already, it seems to be political brownie points.
Already there have been announcements today that villages which are cut off, they'll get free rations for a month. You know, a body for monitoring development has been put into place. People are debating ecology, people are debating deforestation, people are debating construction of hydroelectric dams. The more debate, the better. I have a different take on it completely. I think it's very good It shows our democracy is
but
alive
there's a
and
lot
kicking.
of, unfortunately, we're still waiting for the Congress spokesperson
I
to
suppose
come on the
I-
program. But Dr. Chandan Mitra, there's a lot of
absolutely appropriate
hypocrisy in even the Congress's statements today, which
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll agree. When they're talking about why, the BJP leadership, the leaders of the opposition didn't go to Uttarakhand, when the Home Minister was the one who had said no one should go. Of course, Rahul Gandhi did, and didn't really end up doing anything. I don't know what succor he gave to people there by going there. What did he do that was constructive? I'll ask Mr. Bhushan that as well. Yes,
So
Mr. Mitra.
first, let me begin by complimenting Bharat Bhushan for his views, which I entirely endorse. In a democracy, this is inevitable, and there is nothing wrong. It is this competition between political parties, between ideological positions, that leads to a deepening of democracy and gives greater information to people and forces governments to act, irrespective of whose government it is there in Uttarakhand or any other state. So that is a very welcome thing, I think, on the whole. But it should be within the bounds of decency. It should not degenerate. Now, today the Congress has tied itself up in so many knots. I really feel sorry for them. I can understand why they are not on this show. Now, you say all this time that Modi, Rambo, that report, which has been sued by the person who is alleged to have said it. So that is again a concoction. And then you have a situation where the Congress leaders say, why didn't BJP leaders visit Uttarakhand? I mean, your Home Minister said nobody should visit, my own chopper must not land, and so on and so forth. And
But
then
Narendra
if
Modi
our
went.
leaders don't go, they will
And,
say, why
but
didn't you
Narendra
go?
Modi went within days. I'm
Yes,
saying-
Narendra Modi went. Narendra Modi went, and it was only to stop him from visiting that the Home Minister's statement came. We all know the game that is being played.